You're now listening to Sport Champs.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Sport Champs, Street Champs exclusive sports podcast. I got my man Dave. I got my damn Winston. I almost said damn. I meant to say man, but he's my damn man, Winston. Behind the cam, we got ZZ up top, scooping. You know, if any team would be a Wildcat, it would be ZZ.
Facts.
For
Panthers.
real. We got Deryk in the cut. With the peas hat. I feel like you never take off that peas hat.
Yeah, whose team is that? Do you even know what team that is?
I feel like he doesn't know what team the peas hat is.
I do.
Who?
Well,
Pirates.
no. We're supposed to let Deryk guess, bro.
Well, where are they?
Yeah, where is that team from? I feel like he just bought that hat because Push and P. Oh, he's plugging in.
He's ready
Yo,
to
this is
speak
the
for
first
himself.
official episode Deryk is actually going to talk.
I mean,
I like it.
he's
This is
talked a little
nice. This is a good start. This is a good start to the pod.
you muted still.
I can't let you guys put smut on my name like
Ooh.
that. I know this is the Pennsylvania Panthers.
Ooh.
Pennsylvania Panthers.
This is the Push and Peas.
The penny pants.
Yeah.
How long have you had that hat?
Probably like 5 months.
And for people, because you guys obviously can't see it, we got a black and gold trim peas hat.
Oh, they see it in every interview.
They do see it in every interview if you guys have ever been on this channel.
Facts.
Do you know what sport that is?
Baseball.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh
I like
Pirates.
it. I like it. Boom.
Black and yellow,
He bought it because of Wiz Khalifa, I feel like.
for sure.
This man got some 501 Levi's on.
Oh, shit.
All right, enough roasting of this man. Welcome to Sports Champs, dude. What's your favorite sport, Deryk?
All right. If we're being serious,
He likes cricket.
I like fucking like snowboarding and skateboarding and shit.
Ooh, he likes extremes.
Yeah.
We haven't really talked about extremes on here very much.
No.
Once winter hits, we're gonna talk about it a lot. I'm gonna probably like stream from up there and stuff because I'm gonna be going a lot. Hopefully, we get a nice winter. I will say that. When's the last time you even snowboarded?
Probably like 3 years ago. I have
that's
a
not that
snow
far.
skateboard though. So like when there's a
Snow
little
skateboard.
Yeah.
This guy.
When there's like a little bit of snow on concrete, you could like go out and skate on it. It's pretty
Damn,
dope.
it's pretty fire.
That's cool.
When's the last time you went, Winston? You're a skier.
Like 2 years ago.
You're the ops, bro.
I didn't go last year. I went the year before.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun. I went with my girlfriend. She face planted like 3 times.
Poor guy.
Dude, I remember watching Holly face plant. It hurts you, dude.
I'm like, yeah. I was trying to help her.
Were you in front of her
I
or
could just
behind
see
her?
Winston being
I
like,
was behind her because
You have to be behind her.
If they lose their shit, then you need to be able to pick up
Yeah,
their
you gotta be
shit.
behind them.
And so, yeah, it was hard to watch. So, but it was. I had fun. Other than that,
lay down the situation. How did she face plant?
she just was going downhill and lost
Just lose
control,
control
and she couldn't turn, and she basically did it to stop. Is essentially what.
Oh
happened.
no!
Yeah.
She accepted the bail.
Yeah. So
You can never accept the bail.
it was. I thought she was gonna like break her neck, bro. Like,
Ooh, it was one of like a scorpion-esque.
ooh.
I don't know what that means, but
Like when you like Like
Where,
when
like,
you
it
your
was
feet-
bad.
Your
to where
feet
your
touch
feet touch the back of your head almost.
oh, she did that once. Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah. She did that once. Yeah.
Poor thing.
It was
Yeah.
like into an uphill slope, kind of. So like, trying to have her slow her down by using gravity to her advantage.
Ow,
but yeah, it
dude.
was not. Yeah, it was tough.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Could we just imagine, like, I know you're a supportive dude, but I've seen you in coaching moments.
Yeah.
I could only imagine, like, what level of frustration meeting, also, like, concern. You're going to show concern, but I know internally you were just like, just like, this is all you got to do to stop. Like, you probably very, very plainly explained it, but, like...
If it was Dave's lady, he'd be like,
No,
get up!
Hold on, though, like, I can speak from experience. Last time I went snowboarding was with you. And
Yeah, I'm the worst teacher.
Well, he can say that, like...
I was learning too at the time.
Well, I've skateboarded for like better part of a decade, and like the weight distribution on a skateboard versus snowboarding doesn't translate as well as you would think. So I went down the whole like slope in like a power slide. Like he was yelling, "Stand up!" Like I was just like leaning back, letting my hand drag the snow because I'm like, I can control this. Like,
He's like,
not
this
standing
is
up.
like grinding.
Yeah.
yeah, I went down.
We got to take him again.
crooked because I can't go. What's it when I like switch? I can't do switch at all.
Well, we took you to Monarch too. You need to learn on like a bigger mountain. so there's like
Oh.
more spread out space.
Monarch's kinda steep.
It's steep and it's fast, and like you have to go or go. Like
That's
there's
where
no.
that's where I took my girlfriend.
Yeah,
So,
it's hard. It's hard to learn. Like it's a good place to learn if you go on the right paths. But I was learning at the time, and like I was only at Monarch at the time. Like I didn't really know. We got to take you to like a really nice resort to where you have room, so you
Yeah.
don't have to worry about people and like this is the only path you can go this way or that way, and it's not just this. It's fucking it's this and that, like this and that, So we're gonna have to get you acquainted this year, son. We should go this year.
Yeah, we should all go. That'd be
I'll be
dope.
down.
Let's plan it. We'll figure it out. We'll figure
yeah.
it out. We'll figure it out, but I gotta hit this
Now it's time to talk MMA.
because we got to recap right away. We got to hit the recap. Boy, did we have a weekend of fights.
A historic.
Oh my
history.
god!
Just history.
And I'm gonna put the house. I'm gonna bet everything in this room on Winston did not watch one fight this weekend.
I did not. Yeah. I don't have ESPN Plus, bro.
Why don't you have ESPN Plus?
I just don't. Dave gave me access, but I don't know if I can watch it while he's watching it. So
I don't know how many screens it
Bro,
gives us.
pay
Yeah.
$9.
We
A
can
month?
try.
It's $9 a month.
I think it's-
$9.99.
Maybe.
I think you could get it packaged with Disney Plus.
I could
Disney
honestly
Plus,
stream
ESPN
it.
Plus. Why don't you just stream it
I should have. I thought about it. I just didn't do it for whatever
on
reason.
Minecraft?
If it was a
Right.
Nuggets game, you would have streamed it.
Maybe if it was like a playoff game,
I know this guy walked in with the Nuggets tee.
right?
I have that same tee.
5280 relentless.
We got this from the playoff game me and Dave went to.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. How much was that?
The shirt?
Yes.
Oh, it's free if you bought a
It
ticket.
was that each seat. Each
Yeah.
seat had a shirt.
What?
Yeah.
That's fucking sick.
But the tickets were like, I want to say it was like 170.
Yeah, it was like
Oh
paid.
shit, they better come with the shirt.
Yeah.
It's
it was
playoff basketball.
That's still cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And we were on the, excuse me, like when they do all like the little like halftime performances and everything, they always face one side. We were on the side they were facing, so that made for a more pleasant experience. Because we would have been on the opposite side, you would have just had like the cheerleaders' backs to you at all times.
Which I prefer personally because I can see the ass.
Ooh,
Let's go,
This man
dude.
is
Winston.
this man is on it.
He's thinking.
Yeah.
But no, that-
I wasn't thinking when I bought the tickets.
That was such a fun experience, though. Playoff
oh, yeah.
basketball. Got to see Prime Curry on his championship run. I'll never.
That
How
is
many times am
fire.
I gonna get to like, not see like Curry in a championship run, but him getting to play in the playoffs against Denver? Like that's the first time
That
that's
is
happened.
cool.
Yep. Going to any play. If you're a sports fan, go to a playoff.
A playoff game is
Go to a playoff game. I went to the game with Tim Tebow and Demaryius Thomas had that overtime score. I went to
Steelers?
that game against the Steelers.
Oh, my.
I went to that game. That game was fucking wild. I went to Game 7, Nuggets versus Spurs a
Yeah,
couple
you
years
did.
ago.
damn.
And then that game, playoff games by far best experience you could have. Like
The best.
I haven't been to a hockey playoff game.
This guy's out here, man. And I feel like I have to hit this
Now
again.
it's time to
right. Yeah.
I feel like I need to hit that again. All right, let's officially recap what happened this last weekend.
Yes, sir.
Because Winston did his magic and was like, "Yeah, I didn't watch the fights, but these basketball shirts,
You brought up
and
the basketball
playoff
shirt.
games, and no, but let's get into it a little bit. So we're gonna recap the last fights over this weekend, then talk about the rest of the sports, and then if there's any upcoming fights coming up, because there is no UFC this weekend.
Speaking of fights, we should also mention this most recent week of the Contender Series.
Ooh.
It
It was good. It was
Yeah.
really good. Everybody got a contract again.
Yeah, which is
That was crazy.
Never happened.
Never happened. They were
Yeah.
really good fights. All of
We'll,
them.
we'll get to that though.
But we'll get to that. Let's start with the recap. I guess I should open it on here, huh?
A lot happened. It was very historic. Like a lot of like some fighters put their gloves up from then on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It hurts to see that.
it does hurt. So let's go over UFC 278. That's kind of the main bulk of it,
How did our
and then we'll
parlay
go over
do?
everything else. Our parlay.
Usman lost.
Usman
so-
Oh,
lost.
and that one fight went the distance, so I fucked that up.
Yeah, I think we lost all legs. I think.
Yeah, I
I'm pretty
mean,
sure we
you
lost
might as
all
well
legs.
lose all of them if you're not gonna win. You know,
Yeah,
If you're
exactly.
gonna lose one, might as well lose.
I
them
kind of
all
want, yeah.
for a
If
parlay.
one of us doesn't hit, I want to lose with you guys.
I feel you.
Appreciate it. We're a team out here.
Yeah, this is full on team shit.
We shit the bed
and
collectively.
we've already won some for you guys. Okay, so stop. Don't bitch. No one's bitching. No one's bitching. No one's bitching at all. No one even cares. All right, starting off with these early prelims, man. We had Victor Altamirano and Daniel da Silva getting the first round knockout. We got Victor knocking out Daniel, and I mean, it was a good fight, dude. I called it. I mean, that was one of my bets. That was one of my legs. Sadly, Kamaru Usman killed the parlay. He killed most of my parlays. It was a losing week because of Kamaru losing. And so we lost a lot of parlays off of 1 minute. 1 minute left. I lost a lot of parlays.
That's MMA.
That's MMA, though. And honestly, when it happened, I wasn't mad at all. I was just like, I was freaking out. Like, I was just like, okay, well, whatever. Like,
is that not the epitome of this whole card, though?
It was,
head to toe, you're like, oh, well, that's MMA.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
but if you listen to that bet, you would have hit that one.
Yes, sir.
I picked the under 2.5 for that. Got a scratchy throat today, huh? Then we got Quilang Aori fighting Jay Perrin, and I mean, decision out. That's one of the few I feel like. I don't know. There's a good amount of decisions, but one of the few I don't really remember too much because it was in the early prelims. After that, we had Amir Albazi submitting Francisco Figueiredo in the first round. Called that one again. I actually had a separate bet, not parlayed up, hit that bet
Nice.
on the under 2.5 on this one. So not bad, not bad. Hitting, at least I didn't lose the money, It's just one of those weeks again where we didn't hit. Like, we just kind of barely lost a little bit.
that's MMA.
That's MMA, dude. That's what happens when you... I mean, we all kind of thought Kamaru, what he did was what he did, and he was doing it the whole time, and then boom. He
did lose round 1, though.
He did lose round 1.
We'll get to that.
Then we had a draw
Rare.
that actually kept one of my parlays going. I was surprised. So Sean Woodson versus Luis Saldana. Sean Woodson got dropped I don't know how many times. 3?
At least.
Three
But
times, I think.
There was a controversial illegal strike in that fight.
Yep.
Which was so...
Luis Saldana ran up and kneed him in the fucking face
I don't think that
while he was on the ground.
I don't think he was knowingly processing the thought, I'm going to try to hit him while he's down.
I think he went for the body. I think
he just threw it in a big flurry. He had a lot of adrenaline going.
Yeah.
He had just hurt him. And then the reason that this is significant, though, is because as soon as it happened and the knee happened, the ref got between them because the strike was illegal. And if I'm not mistaken, Saldana doesn't speak English. I could be wrong. And so there was a language barrier. So as soon as the ref got between him, he instantly assumes he just won the fight.
Yeah.
So he jumps up on the cage, starts pounding his chest,
Thinking he won.
and then
I forgot.
And then the ref just looks over at him and he's just like, "What are you doing? That was an illegal knee."
Yeah.
And the fight continued. But the thing was, Woodson.
Sad.
They asked Woodson if he wanted to continue. More power to you, bro. You were getting your ass whooped. You got
was
illegally
losing.
struck in the head.
But then he came back.
And then you came back and got a draw. You can't take nothing away from his heart. The man's got mad heart. He's one of the Contender Series alums. Anyone who's not seen Charles Woodson fight,
Sean Woodson.
Sean Woodson.
This guy.
It's first
Charles,
name. I'm just looking at the last name on the thing.
You're good.
Regardless, though, he's a very interesting looking dude for his weight division. You know what I'm saying? He's 6 foot, 6'1", weighs 145 pounds on the scale.
Damn.
He's
skinny as fuck.
He's very, very skinny.
Skinny guy, dude.
But he uses that reach, and it's been bread and butter for him every fight up until now. So, more power to you. They could have taken a point for illegal strike. I think they did. I want to say they did. I'd be shocked if they didn't. Regardless, it was just interesting. The fight looked like it was over, and next thing we know, the fight continues. Next thing we know, it's a draw.
Next thing we know, it's a draw.
That's MMA.
That is MMA. After that, we had Leonardo Santos fighting Jared Gordon. That going to his decision. Jared Gordon winning decisively. I think he did. I forget the scorecards, honestly.
It is what it is.
One that I didn't expect to go, and this was my leg of the parlay, was Marcin Tybura and Alexander Romanov. Heavyweights, they actually went to decision.
What's up with these 265-pound dudes not getting finishes?
I know, it's kind of confusing.
Probably
The
scared.
smaller guys are getting... I mean, Figueiredo's brother got choked out. These smaller guys are getting all the finishes. These heavyweights aren't. It's kind of surprising. But Marcin Tybura took that win with the decision in the 3 rounds. After that, we got to the main card, and boy, did it heat up right after that.
First fight.
It heated up. Oh, my God. Right out the gate, we had Tyson Pedro. What did I tell you guys? Taking out Harry Hunsucker. Didn't have a chance. Didn't have a chance.
That was the plus 500 something odds for Hunsucker. It was plus 550 and minus 700.
Minus 700 for
Pedro.
Tyson Pedro.
So
I had him parlayed up.
That's one of the first times where the odds did it legitimately spoke to what was going to happen.
Yep.
Which is rare, but oh my, like Hunsucker's game. He's a beast, but
Tyson is just an easy parlay piece.
it's I don't
Easy parlay piece. You can put him in stress free. He came in huge. Dude was huge.
it's so crazy.
Destroyed him in a minute and 5 seconds.
There's all I know is that 205 needs to be on notice.
Needs to be on notice
Like
for Tyson
Jesus.
Pedro now that he's back.
Jesus Christ.
Right after that, we had Yanan Wu fighting Lucy Padalova.
Shout
And
out Woo.
Woo Yanan.
what happened, dude?
You woo some, you win some.
She got knocked out in the second round. Knocked out, TKO'd in the second round.
Poor
That
thing.
killed his parlay real fast.
Yeah.
That killed your parlay the fastest.
Yeah. I mean, good thing I didn't put it on the team parlay. But
I was begging you not to.
yeah. But ultimately it didn't matter.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm surprised Wu kind of went in for it. I mean, all fighters go in for it, obviously, but
She got knocked the fuck out, or what?
she got TKO'd.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah.
was she like getting her ass beat the whole time?
It was a pretty good fight. It was a
Yeah.
pretty good fight, but tides turned. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Lucy just took over. Took her out in the second round. She won the first round too. Lucy, I think, won the first round as well.
Gotcha.
After that, we had Jose Aldo facing Marab Valesvili, and
Ooh.
man, Marab is just a beast. He's a beast. Jose, I think the one thing we have to state is I think the elevation played a big part into a lot of these fights.
And his weight cut.
And and the weight cut. But my thing is like, it's crazy to see the difference between these fighters. Like, there's just miles and miles ahead, especially genetically. Like Marab, they said was training for 45 minutes before his fight. Was doing workouts 45 minutes before his fight, and it was freaking everybody out. They're like, "How is this guy about to go out here and fight Jose Aldo for 3 rounds, like no problem, and
Yeah.
can do it for 2 more easily?"
Oh,
and he did.
Yeah.
He did. He got the decision win over Jose Aldo. Aldo just looked kind of gassed, bro. Like he looked tired.
It was weird.
They were in Utah, man. Like,
I mean, yeah, they were in Salt Lake City. Like, that is an elevation deal, but like, Aldo just looked like he was just completely content with the takedown attempts, because like he really didn't get taken down, but like once or twice got right back up. But like, he didn't really go for broke in any like form of the fight. He didn't chase him down. He wasn't really trying to like take his head off. Like, I don't know what his game plan was. It's hard to say, but it was like we were all just kind of eager because we all had that thought in the back of our head, like, can Aldo do it? Can he get another title shot out of this? And
I think what
the
it
answer
was is
nah.
Marab shutting him down, man.
He's no chump. He
Marab,
won
it's hard.
every inch of that fight. He was
Because if you look at the last fight with Jose, he looked great.
yeah, he looked like he turned the back.
It's hard to look
the
good
clock.
against Marab. It's hard to look good against Marab. He's so good, dude.
And he's
so good.
you know,
His striking's great.
the saying,
like-
iron sharpens iron. Well, he's training partners with Aljo, and he said that he
Yeah,
won't
bro.
fight him. So it's like it's gonna be like
He's gatekeeper, bro. It's so hard. It's gonna be so hard to beat Marab. He's so good.
But-
He's so good.
I don't know what the thought process is with that, because the UFC's not going to let him hold up the division. They're going to make, like, we saw Gilbert Burns when he was training partners with fucking Usman, and
I think they'll
fought.
just give him good fights, and we'll see Marab get taken out. I mean,
Well-
there's so many good fighters in the UFC,
But like,
especially this division. Bantamweight is deep.
basically, if he's content to be at the number one contender, like hovering, then he'll basically just have guys leapfrog him who will fight him, which is not. That's just, who knows?
What were you gonna say? You were gonna say something, did you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Sorry.
I thought you were gonna make a sound.
No.
My bad. I read it wrong. But one thing I did want to say is Jose doing the quiet retirement. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
What?
So basically,
He was, like,
on
on
the
Twitter.
ground after the fight, both
kept
of
it
them like
close.
kind of talked, like they kind of like embraced and talked for a little bit, and basically, so Marab went on Ariel Helwani's MMA Hour plug, and Marab basically said, like, well, Ariel asked, "What'd you guys say on the ground?" And he said that Jose said that this was my last fight, like, just, kind of consoling him. Like,
Did he admit that it was his last fight?
I mean, he didn't say it on mic. He didn't leave his gloves in the thing. He didn't.
So he hasn't spoken on it?
He hasn't publicly spoken on it. Marab did say that was his last fight. That was his last title run, because he was. If he would have won that fight, he would have had a title shot.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's the back of the line now again because Marab. So he's done. I mean, why would he do it anymore?
Is he like, how old is he? Like 33, 34?
35.
35?
Let's see.
Because, I mean, I feel like you don't owe it to the fans to retire publicly, but if it doesn't come from his mouth, it's like the Tom Brady retired. If Tom Brady doesn't say
35.
he's retiring,
He's 35.
then I'm not believing it until they say it, type of deal.
I believe it because, I mean, Marab has... Jesus.
God damn you, ZZ. Make my heart smile.
Marab has no reason to lie.
Yeah, for sure.
But, yeah, I'm kind of waiting for an official word, too, but I believe it. Because, I mean, there's nowhere else for Jose to go.
He could have been just emotional after the loss.
That
You know
too,
what I mean?
that too.
It's a very emotional thing. And like,
I think, but if I had to put money on it, I think he's going to release his statement soon.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not seeing
I see it.
anything on his socials.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to talk about
I'd
it
be
for
pissed
a while.
if I got aired out like I was going to retire and then my opponent told everyone. I'd be pissed, bro.
Well, and the UFC hasn't made an announcement either. They will.
Yeah, I
No,
mean,
but that's not-
It's still a small segment. It's still like a small, like really people who love MMA only watch that show really, like because it's an
Yeah.
all MMA heavy show.
But it's not that guy's responsibility. Like, let's say you were quitting Street Champs, and I was like, "Yeah, Ricky's quitting Street Champs."
Yeah, Ariel asked though. I mean, and Rob's from fucking. Is he from Russia? I think he's just from Russia. Let me see. Marab is from.
One of those Eastern countries.
Fuck, it doesn't say.
What does Andrew Schultz say? One of those.
Oh, he's from Georgia.
Georgia.
He's
There
from
you go.
Georgia, bro.
It's like Eastern.
So he
Europe.
has like
Yeah.
fucking. He's like barely learned English like completely. So like he fucking. Like he's just like, yeah, this is what he said. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he wasn't, you know. That's just Marab, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because Ariel's like, oh, well, what'd you guys say on the ground? He was like, oh, he said this, and Ariel's like, really? He didn't
Yeah.
say anything. Like he didn't say anything public. He was like, yeah, that's what he told me on the ground. Like that's basically how it went. Like
That's funny.
Yeah.
Like yeah, Marab is chill as fuck. Like you know what I mean? Just a Georgian guy.
Yeah.
Just fucking Georgian guy. You know. Moving on after that fight, though, that was a good fight, man. It was a good fight. It was sad to see Jose, I mean, kind of like gassed out. Older Jose, older man. I mean, he's fought for so long.
Oh yeah.
He's fought for so long. And when you fight for really, really long like that, like your body just kind of gives out, man. That's why I'm kind of glad, like bringing back snowboarding in. I'm glad I learned snowboarding later in my life because I can be really good now. I'm really good. And arguably, I'd be better, you know, if I started younger in my life. But I feel like my body would be more wear and teared.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
You
Because
fucked up your knee
Oh.
really bad.
I hit a fucking tree. It's different. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying.
That's different though. And my knee's fine now, but that's from trauma. That's like a trauma. You know what I mean? I feel like from people that fucking, they're gonna have way worse knees than somebody who would start something that later in their life.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty hard on your knees snowboarding. So just generally, even if you don't hit a tree.
Yeah. I mean, you're sideways and shit. Yeah, so I can see
Yeah.
that in the movement. That's what they say too. Yeah.
Yeah. So you.
That's why older people ski and pussies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And vaginas.
It's easier. I like it. It's simple.
For pussies. Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. It was a joke, guys. It was a joke. Put me on skis. We'll race.
So now to the co-main.
So the co.
So this is the leg of the parlay.
I gotta back out.
I
Yeah.
fucked up, but
Yeah,
they
you
were
fucked
all
up.
fucked up.
You fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, we all fucked
We were
up.
equal opportunity bet.
We
shitters.
literally all
Yeah.
lost.
Oh, I was
And
just like,
that was one of the last. I had that parlay. I mean, your pick, your prop. I had the parlayed up with a lot of other parlays too. Not a lot, but like some
that
other
fight
ones.
should not have gone the distance.
It shouldn't have.
But
It shouldn't have.
I blame elevation for this one and Luke's old.
Luke is crazy, dude.
First of
he
all,
looked good though. He was
He
looking
looked
good.
the best he's looked in his since he lost his belt, and he looked game.
He's still old
He
too.
didn't
Like
get
he got
knocked
old
out.
too, bro.
He ate a lot of damage, but the reason why I put the emphasis earlier on history is because like homie's putting his gloves, like he didn't take them off and put them in the cage. He took them off and took them with him. So that's like probably a little heirloom that he'll keep for the rest of his life. But yeah, it sucks.
It does suck.
I thought prime Luke Rockhold is like possibly one of, if not the most, I would say like top 3 most dangerous middleweights ever. Like,
Facts. I mean,
like
the
Anderson-
ground game and the stand up.
Anderson is my goat middleweight. That will never change.
It'll never change.
I don't think anyone has the position. Like,
no one can beat his record or anything.
yeah, so like Anderson is my middleweight GOAT, and then after that, you got to put him up there. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the best.
My takeaway
Luke
from
was
that
so
whole fight
good.
is he's all "fuck you," boom. That shit was tight.
When
They
he
were
rolled his bloody face all over homie.
Oh my god!
I was
dude.
cringing so
my
hard.
God. His broken nose.
Just
it's funny.
rubbing
Luke was
it.
saying on MMA Hour 2, he was like, "Yeah, he like broke it like kind of back like better." He's like, he took the lump away. he's like, he fixed it for me kind of. He's like, it's still broken, but
But he was like
broke it better for him.
when he left the octagon, you could see how he was just like in tears. That was like it was hard to watch, but I'm embracing it because that dude's he's already so successful outside of the cage.
Yeah, thank you for the career, man. Like,
Yeah.
thank you for letting us watch you.
Strikeforce Luke
was
Rockhold
dope.
was fucking terrifying.
What he did to Chris Weidman.
And to think what he came from, like the whole iron sharpens iron who we were talking about with Aldo and Valesvili, like he trained with Kane in DC, like his whole career. You know what I'm saying? And they were all pound for pound in their own respects. So
Yeah.
that's that.
I'm just, again, reeling it back.
Sorry.
That went to a decision?
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude? One of the last fights. Paolo beat his ass, though.
Yeah. I mean, he definitely won that.
He looked like a superhero, too. Dude looked good.
Man's got the heavies.
Dude's got the heaviest of heavies, dude. He's getting better at speaking English, too. He's getting better and better. A lot of these fighters, you see them really, really starting to speak their English better so they can, show their personalities out.
I'm jealous that they were raised in a different language. And then
I know, so now they know both.
But now they
That's
have the
cool.
opportunity in a more organic terms to come learn a new language. That will stick with them way better than like the 2+ years of Spanish I took in high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but we get to say Liddy and Finna, so
They probably have the equivalent in like Portuguese.
they definitely do. They definitely do. We're not that cool. But you know what was cool, man? That main event.
So
Let's break down a little bit.
first note of the main event, I think Leon
Crazy.
Leon won round one.
Kamaru Usman
unquestionably.
versus Leon Edwards.
Round one, everyone was kind of like, Leon took Usman. That was Usman's the first time he's ever been taken down in his UFC career. That
Crazy.
moment was Leon. So Leon takes him down with a trip takedown. Then gets him into a back, like he gets him, like he's trying to get a rear naked choke in. He's not quite capable of doing it. A lot of hands fighting. Round ends. Round one's Leon.
Leon took
then-
that first round.
And then the fight we all signed up for
The fight we knew was happening.
just took place from then on. Mm-hmm. And then with like 50-some seconds left in the 5th round, like a movie. You can't write this shit. This literally is like a Rocky movie, and the homie.
Let's
Leon-
not forget, like, in his corner work too. His corner was hyping him up, and the thing is like Leon wasn't looking at his corner. He wasn't looking at him in their eyes. Like, he wasn't staring at him. Like, his body language was very weird.
But
So
he knew what he had to do. His
Dave
path to
Lavelle, I think his name is Lavelle or Lavelle. One of the
Regardless.
two. Regardless, he's like, "What are you doing?" Like stop. He was basically telling him, "Stop feeling sorry for yourself.
Yeah,
Like, stop feeling sorry for yourself. Pick your shit. Like, what are you doing? Like, you're not acting like yourself."
exactly.
Is basically what he was saying.
And then-
and Leon picked up, and they drilled a certain kick, a certain combo with a kick involved in it,
So
and they called for it, and it happened, and it landed.
what
And
he
he did
did.
it in 50 seconds.
Well,
But with 50 seconds left.
So
Sorry.
like the way he
50 seconds.
the combos,
57,
he
six.
kept throwing a left jab followed by a left leg kick, and he
He
kept
well, he
doing that.
faked the right too.
Well, yes.
Usman or Leon?
Leon Edwards was throwing Usman a bunch of. It was like jab leg kick because Usman as a wrestler is gonna reach for that leg. He's gonna try to catch it because he's gonna use that as a takedown. So he just kept doing it, and with like less than a minute left in the fight, and like I'm not even gonna lie, I was already on my phone. It's
cool.
I was mentally like waiting for the press.
We
conference.
knew Kamaru was gonna win. I was over here doing the money dance. I was like,
Yeah, like I was
I'll hit my
I was like, this is what every Kamaru win looks like. He's outclassing him. He's got some TKOs to his name. He's outclassing him. And so I'm just looking on my phone, and out of nowhere, I just hear yelling, and I look up, and Usman is just out, looking up, eyes open.
You missed it. I watched that shit live, bro. I was sitting there
No,
like
I
this.
saw the
and I was like,
replay.
he's gonna do it.
I saw the
He's
replay.
gonna do it.
But you know what he did though is he did like the
Bink.
left. or left jab, leg kick. Did it like
You seen the replay, right?
He did it like 2 times, and when he went to do it for the 3rd time, when he Usman went to duck to the side because he was expecting to catch a leg, and homie's like, "All right, now's my moment."
Crashed into it.
Head kick, and it could not have landed more flush
Perfect.
because Usman's head was moving towards that side, so he basically
Wrapped his foot around his fucking
He basically
face.
lightly headbutted a head kick. Like
It was
he was
bad.
His head was like this, and oh my god! And
Out cold, dude.
but
Cold. Just looking,
was
staring at
out.
nothing. Black.
this was a
nothing.
historic moment.
Staring into the abyss, dude. Like,
Yeah.
Such a
that's
historic moment.
crazy. It's so historic, dude. And Leon did it. He grabbed the mic. Let's not forget the promo he hit after too, bro.
Best championship post-fight promo ever. I'll give it that credence.
How you like me now?
He's like, he
He
basically
said, "Look at me now."
He said something to the effect of, he's just like, pound for pound, headshot, dead. Like, oh my god,
That's the best,
That shit
yeah.
gave me goosebumps. And like,
Pound for pound,
To be
headshot,
fair,
dead.
they're gonna run it back for sure, unless like
I think Kamaru takes the rematch too.
Well, if they can like
Just
if they
judging
schedule
how-
it, if they schedule it appropriately, he's gonna get that rematch. He deserves it. He absolutely deserves it. He's probably this is probably gonna be.
I kind of let's pause on the rematch and let's make Leon versus Jorge, even though Jorge does not deserve it at all.
No, he's lost like multiple.
Who cares though? It
Yeah,
makes
the-
for a good story.
The 3-piece soda incident.
The 3-piece soda,
Hold on,
dude.
no, hold on. Before we get into that, did I not insinuate? I don't want to say I called this because I didn't think
did
Usman
not
could
call
lose,
this at all.
but I did say if Leon wins in a way that Usman can't fight in a schedule accordance, because he got knocked the fuck out, that they're gonna make a fight. And Jorge, they have the 3-piece and soda incident, and Jorge immediately went to Twitter as soon as this happened. So like, I wouldn't insinuate I called that because I won't bet against Usman ever, even in this rematch. I won't bet against Usman. Like, every dog has its day.
That's a scary fight for Leon. I think Leon probably will win.
I feel
though.
like this was the male equivalent of Pena Nunes. And I think we're going to get the sequel just like Pena
they
Nunes.
should rematch. They need to rematch. Like they have to rematch.
Usman deserves it.
He never lost in the UFC. He didn't
never
lose
lost.
a round.
He's
He
never lost
a round.
before this fight.
Like,
This was his first round/fight loss of his career.
ever.
So
He needs to rematch.
he deserves it. And that weight class, welterweight, like, I don't know who else they'd feed to him. I don't know.
KO round 5, 4 minutes and 4 seconds.
Yeah, that was,
Wow.
like I said, that they need to make a 30 for 30 for this.
They should.
They need to include the first fight, this fight, like, and the thing about it that kind of sucks though for me is like Usman is such a nice and humble guy. You know what I mean? Like,
He is.
I saw people tweeting that like someone tweeted they're like his daughter was devastated while he was sitting
Yeah,
there, and I'm
I
like,
heard
why
that.
the hell would you even tweet that? I don't want to scroll.
Well,
past
I mean,
that
Rashad Evans was sitting right next to her, and he said it was like the saddest thing. Like,
She's
it
never-
gave him chills when he like
That's
heard
her-
her shriek.
That's
Like,
her Superman, though.
Yeah,
and you got to
like-
look at it like
Yeah.
that. So I get like that's her reaction. Her visceral reaction is justified.
Yeah, bro.
But
Oh my
you don't
God.
need to tweet.
I
Like,
feel so bad.
no grown adult needs to tweet like, "Oh my God, Usman's daughter is devastated." Like, of course she's devastated. Her Superman just went down. But most importantly,
Superman got turned off.
Superman just got paid like 500 plus K for that. So that's worth it. $100,000 of every 5.
Second loss ever.
Yeah, it just is what it is. But like they're gonna run it back.
They're gonna run it.
I'm
back.
sure he'll win the rematch.
I'm confident he'll win the
Yeah.
rematch.
Yeah,
weird.
I
He did
think-
nothing wrong. He
I'm
got
betting on him
caught.
for the rematch.
He literally
Yeah.
got caught. He did nothing.
I mean, we all thought he was going to win, and he was.
Yeah.
He was decisively winning every
56
One mistake.
seconds.
one fucking
mistake.
One.
That's all it takes.
MMA.
That's
Yeah.
MMA, dude.
That's MMA.
And it's cool. Like, we can't forget like Leon's story. He was born in Jamaica with nothing. His
Yeah.
mom was 15.
yeah.
He born in a hut, zinc roof. You know what I mean? Like
First Jamaican-born champion ever.
he had nothing, came from
dope.
nothing, went to the UK. That's why he's saying, "Look at me now, mom." Like, look, fuck.
Did you
dude.
see when after he was
Backstage
walking out,
crying,
he was
bro?
FaceTiming his mom.
His
and
mom was just shrieking.
He's like, "We fucking did it!" Oh my god,
so cool.
So happy for him.
So happy for him. He deserves it. He deserves it. I can see him reigning for a little bit, but
You know,
I
it's-
think Kamaru grabs that back real fast.
You know, it's kind of a funny little
Just because
comment.
Kamaru's so good.
A funny comment. The last like 3, if you will, welterweight champions are all have like they all have big moments on camera with their moms. They're kind of like, not to call them mama's boys, but like, remember when Mama Woodley was consoling Usman when he beat Woodley? That was huge. Everyone fell in love with Tyron Woodley's mom in that moment. And then we've got to see the Usmans when like Usman's brother Muhammad Usman just won the Ultimate Fighter, so they brought in the parents to like congratulate, like look at what you guys have accomplished. You raised us to be this. Like we are a reflection of you. And then now we got Leon calling his mom like that. Those little moments that are bigger than fighting, that just makes it that much more lovable.
When you were bringing up Kamaru's parents, I just remember seeing, because they posted a picture of Kamaru's dad too, and he was like, he's like, God damn it! He's like, fuck!
He's like, my balls did this.
God damn it, dude!
But that was
he had that fight.
Such a historic
Kamaru
moment.
had the fight in the bag.
It sounds like everyone was super surprised.
It
and
was,
shocked.
bro. When I watched it, like it didn't register at first.
But it was,
Like I was like, wait, what?
yeah, like
And then Kamaru, and then you see his eyes, and I was like, he's dead! I stood up and go, he's dead! He's dead! Oh my! Like I just started screaming, bro.
and all the
It was
crazy.
crazy. Like
Yeah, it was crazy because it was so like
in the
such a-
walk off.
It was such a
Leon
quick
did
moment.
the walk off too, dude.
It was so fast because when you think about it, like all those other
He
big
knew.
like
He
number
knew.
fights when the people we thought would win lost, like Anderson, Ronda Rousey, like all the Ronda. No, I will include her in this. Ronda, like basically all these big name fights where we're like you're not gonna lose, and then they did. It was because they got outclassed, and it wasn't like maybe they got cracked, fair enough, but in most of those they got their ass beat. Like GSP versus Matt Serra. He didn't win one moment of that first fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This fight, other than Leon winning round one, this was
all Kamaru.
Usman was bread
Usman
and butter.
was bread and
Usman
butter.
was not deviating from the game plan, and
was killing
just
it.
he just ate a shin.
and then yeah.
So
And you woke up after that. All right, let's move on. How long we been going, Deryk? I'm just curious where we're sitting.
40 minutes.
Not bad.
before the Contender Series, should we talk about that bare knuckle main event?
Let's talk about the bare knuckle. Let's talk about the bare knuckle.
So that was
It was
huge.
a really, really good fight, man.
Violent.
I enjoyed it. It was violent. Both of those men got their faces destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had, like MVP was put in fissures on Mike Perry's face. Mike Perry had he shut his eye. He shut MVP's eye completely.
Mike Perry's jaw was very
Yeah,
it was not
yeah.
broke, it was just very swollen.
Super swollen right here. Had a knot right here.
Like,
It was
yeah.
crazy. It was crazy. And MVP didn't spur from his normal MMA fighting.
Yeah,
Like
his-
it was
his
kind
type-
of very. It was very.
He bounces
Surprised he did
hands
that.
down.
Hands down.
I think
It's that's not how you fight Mike Perry.
not only that, if there's
I mean,
anything,
who am I? Who are we? Obviously.
true, but if there's anything we can learn from MVP and another person in a bare knuckle FC fight was Pauly G, whatever, the guy who sparred Connor and fought Artem Lobov in BKFC. He tried to traditionally box Artem Lobov.
Pauly G. I think you got mixed up from Jersey Shore.
No, his name is it's like Paul. Something.
It's like Magellan.
It's like it's an Italian name, I'm pretty sure. But regardless, that boxer who trained with
I know
Connor
who you're
leading
talking
up to
about, yeah.
Mayweather. So he boxed Artem Lobov, and he tried to traditionally box him. And the thing about BKFC is you can dirty box. There's clinch
There's
work.
dirty
There's
boxing
things that
in
you
that
can't
bitch.
get away with in traditional boxing. So he went in with the game
That's one
plan.
thing I
that-
want to bring up too. Yep,
he brings
go
the
ahead.
game plan like I'm gonna box this dude. I'm gonna outclass him. We're like, this is not this is blood sport. You know what I'm saying? Simply put, this is blood sport. You're not here to demonstrate athletic ability. You're here to inflict damage and avoid damage. That is it. So,
MVP was grabbing on
so-
Mike a lot.
so we
too.
learned-
He was grabbing onto him like, oh my god.
so we learned from that Artem Lobov incident that like you can't bring your style to BKFC. You got to brawl. This is how this works. And
Brawl
so
out.
MVP tried to do the same thing to Mike Perry, and Mike Perry is made
And he was
for
being
this.
successful though. MVP was very
He was
successful
landing
with his plan.
his lead jab. He was much faster.
hitting
than
him hard,
Perry.
too.
Perry like would get him in combinations up close, and he would throw 4 punches and land one, but that one was way more devastating than the MVP punches.
Mm-hmm.
So like that being said, MVP, I mean, him and I were texting the entire bout.
Pretty much.
So like once it was about to go to a decision, I was
surprised he was going to a
I was like,
decision, too.
MVP has this. Like I think he won the decision.
I kind of
in 5
agreed too. I
rounds.
was like, MVP is looking like he's pulling away.
Yeah, so like he said, I could see MVP getting the nod, but then BKFC hits us with a plot twist, which I didn't know this was a rule.
I didn't know, me either.
It's only ever happened once before, so they have a rule that if it comes to a draw at the end of a whatever, I don't know if it's main event only or just outright.
A 5-rounder.
If it comes to a draw, they are allowed to elect for a
Sixth round.
A 6th round, and the winner of that round wins the fight. So the way it works is if they enter that round,
So they're like, "Fight's not over, man."
But the thing is crazy is
Oh my God.
when that happens, the entire 5 rounds that y'all just had, basically doesn't happen. You are now entering a 1-round new bout where the entirety of that round will be
Sudden death.
the
It's sudden
criteria
death.
that they judge that fight on. And that last round,
Mike Perry just beat his ass.
Both were gassed as fuck, but Perry just kind
Perry
of like
poured it on him.
Perry definitely won that last round, but it was hard for me to be mature enough to think because when
Lumped up MVP in the last round.
because like MVP had like bloody mouth, like his eye was shut, but like when you looked at Mike Perry, like his face was a different, like his silhouette of his face was different. You know what I'm saying? So like when that happened, I was just like, I don't see how MVP lost that. And then I'll admit that I was really salty, so I was texting this man.
Salty.
I'm just like, oh, figures BKFC has to protect their product.
Yeah, he was going in. I was like, bro, I think Mike Perry won.
You legally cannot do what I was implying, but I was implying that like the BKFC were like, well, if it goes to a decision, our product's getting it. Because if you think about it from a competitive standpoint, it's a win promotionally if their fighter won. Because if like the Bellator fighter comes in, fights this dude who's basically already had a title shot guaranteed when he beat Julian Lane, he didn't have to take this fight. They just got the bag.
He's like, let's get it.
And the reason they did it is MVPs because it was in London. That was huge. They needed
In
that.
London.
They needed that. So
What's cool is I think Mike Perry kind of invoked that 6th round because he got interviewed too by Ariel, and he was saying how after that 5th round he said he was ready to go, and he went and looked at the owner of BKFC and like was nodding at him and was fucking pointing at the ground and was like, let's fucking go, let's keep fucking go. Like he was like, yo, I want the 6th round, what's good, like fucking let's go. Like, and he was just eyeing MVP and shit still. So I want to say that kind of probably helped invoke. Like
they run that back.
They're like, yo, all right, this kid thing, fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'll agree with you, bro. Like going after watching those 5 rounds, I was like, MVP. Like I was like, he was hitting him good. I was like, but Mike Perry was pouring it on. He dropped. He was because Mike Perry was going at him the whole time. He was going at him the whole time, throwing him the punches, rushing him. MVP was on the back foot the whole fight. The whole fight. So I could see why they drawed it, and I could see why they did it the 6th round. And boy, did Mike Perry show out that 6th.
Twitter always gonna have an opinion, but I was first thing I was thinking was like, I wonder how Twitter felt about this fight. And the knockdown in round 1 against MVP, I think was huge because that in their rules
he did knock down
that's
MVP.
10-8 instantly.
It is a 10-8.
So that did happen. That's important. But Twitter had an opinion. Wow, it was easy. Twitter had an opinion that there was a moment, and I don't even remember this, so I don't give it no credence. But Twitter was like, there was a moment where Mike Perry got dropped by MVP, but he like lunged into him, and then the refs allowed him to hug for a second. I'm just like, that's such a hypothetical narrative to cling to.
They did not count a drop though when Mike Perry like kind of touched both his hands. Remember that? Yeah. MVP caught him and he like kind of touched both his hands and like was like still stood up. It's not a drop, but almost got dropped pretty well. Like, he fucking landed a good strike on him. Good fight overall. I couldn't tell you any of the other fighters that were fighting. There was a good amount of stoppages, though, and knockouts.
Yep.
I watched some of them. I was kind of watching double screening. I didn't really watch PFL. One thing I wanted to bring up, though, is Kayla Harrison saying she's the best women's fighter in MMA. It's like, go ahead, chick. Keep crushing these tomato cans. I don't know.
I see where you're coming from.
I see her lane, and I see where she's at. And honestly, she would probably put the smoke to everybody. I think she'd put the smoke to Amanda. I think she would put the smoke to Chris Cyborg easy. She would bring smoke to all of them, and I think she'd probably win those fights. But she hasn't done it. You can't say that. Why are you saying this?
All she can say.
You beat who? Who are you beat just now?
I agree.
I don't know. Who?
She just never lost. And
a chick that's 5 and what? 5 and 2? You know what?
Yeah.
And go fight Valentina. Go fight all these chicks. Like, you're the one who signed with PFL and took the bag instead of solidifying your legacy by going to the UFC and fighting. And then you want to run a and I get it. You're like you're making money and you're trying to sell for PFL again. Like, you're cutting a promo. You're supposed to do that, but just to say, I don't know, it just kind of turned me off. I was like, you're definitely not the best woman in MMA. You're not solidified yet. So
she can cling to her undefeatedness, and then she can insinuate that there's a path to defeating every other girl that she was competing with, being like Cyborg and Amanda, and like you said, level of competition matters.
It matters. We got Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson fight tonight, though.
I cannot wait.
We'll talk about that a little bit after these other sports, though. Okay, so we broke down that last UFC 278 card. We're about 50 minutes in. Let's talk about all these other news. Let's kind of just touch on them and say what we think about it. first, I wanted to say preseason's ending for football. We got fantasy football popping up soon.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
you guys are getting ready for your guys'
We draft tomorrow.
drafts.
Yeah, we
right?
draft tomorrow.
I drafted last week. Got my team headed.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
You
Got
want
my team.
read off your team for us?
Yeah, bro. So I'm gonna read off two of these teams. I'm gonna read off two of these teams because we could not get a last participant in our. We couldn't get the 12th person, so I just made a
gotcha.
second email and just made a second team. So I'm gonna read off two teams for you, and we'll see, and we'll talk which team you guys think will do better.
Gotcha.
So this first team, I named Tegrity Farms. Tegrity Farms is my team. Where is it at? Hold on. Oh my God.
That's never
It's
not
never
scary.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
peak
She's done it
athleticism.
like 6 times. All right. Tegrity Farms I picked up. Not the best pickups. Decent team though. It's okay. I feel like I'm kind of middle of the pack.
12 team
PPR.
league is
It's hard.
tough.
12 man league's tough. So I got Jordan Burrow.
Joe Bro.
Jordan.
You got
Joe
the
Burrow.
Got the wrestler.
I got Jonathan Taylor.
Oh.
Oh,
Is that your
nice.
first draft pick?
That was my first pick.
What pick overall were you?
Well, I made the league, so I was 1.
Oh, how convenient.
Yeah.
This guy, like,
How-
I made the league.
I didn't know how to
overall.
randomize it. Like, I didn't know.
Sure.
I did it, though. I kind of didn't like it, though. I feel like my second team
I
did
hate
better.
being the first pick.
I didn't really like being first pick.
Okay, all right.
Keep going though.
Cam Akers,
Okay, decent.
Jalen Waddle,
Okay,
Michael Thomas.
okay.
He's hurt. I know, it pissed me off.
Injury prone Ussies.
I know, it kind of pissed me off. Travis Kelce.
Ooh.
Nice.
He's gonna be
This
the
is
best.
PPR, right?
This is PPR.
Okay,
He's gonna go the fuck off.
J.K. Dobbins.
okay.
He should.
He came back from an ACL tear, so but
I hope he's doing good. I kind of picked him as a risky pick, but
Baltimore
I
runs the
picked him
ball.
later in the rounds.
yeah.
Colts defense.
Okay.
Suck up for my kicker.
Ryan
On my
Suckup.
bench, I have Juju Smith-Schuster, Matt Stafford, James Cook with Buffalo,
Nice.
Russell Gage with Tampa Bay,
Okay.
Ty Higbee with
Rams.
LA Rams,
Mhm.
Alexander Madison with the
Nice.
Vikings, and
Keep
Rondale
him.
Moore.
Okay. Yeah, this is decent.
It's okay, middle of the pack.
12 team
Dalvin's gonna
league.
get hurt. Keep that back up.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
second team,
Okay.
I named the Flow State Diamondbacks.
Was this pick 12?
This was the 12th team.
Damn.
Ricky's like, this was the second overall
Damn,
pick.
so you were picking back to back twice.
Oh, man.
No, honestly, I forgot exactly. I don't know.
Did you do snake? So
It
you
was-
go 1,
It was
10,
snake. It was
110.
snake. Yeah, it was a snake
Yeah.
draft. So I don't know. Like it was. Yeah, it was.
Well,
weird.
then that
He was
that
on
one-
opposite ends.
12th pick would also get 13th pick because it would flip.
It was. It was like changing. I don't know. I was confused
Either way.
because I've never been like that guy. But all right, Flow State Diamondbacks. We got Dak Prescott,
He should be decent.
Derrick Henry,
Nice.
Damn.
James Conner,
Okay.
Also decent.
Mike Evans,
Also decent.
Yeah.
DK Metcalf.
He doesn't have a good quarterback.
He doesn't have a
He
good
doesn't have a good quarterback anymore.
Yeah,
I know it
that's-
sucks.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good, though.
Quarterback,
You better hope
not.
they-
He could make a quarterback shine.
They're gonna bubble screen the shit out of him. He's probably gonna do some some reverses.
Good trade. Good trade though.
Maybe if someone doesn't know what they're looking at.
I mean, based on the name, yeah, but the offense is going to be trash. I don't think he's going to do very good.
All right, I should trade him. T.J. Hawkinson,
Okay, he's good.
David Montgomery as my flex.
He's good.
Nice.
I had him like 2 years in a row. He's a sleeper, bro.
Is he a sleeper?
He's
I
like,
got-
well, with Chicago, they're not a very good passing team, so they have to run the ball. The only shitty part about confiding in teams like that where their offense isn't as established is if they're not getting in the red zone, because they run in the red, or teams who get in the red zone run the ball typically, and if you can't get to the red zone, you ain't gonna get touchdowns.
Yeah, so he's not going to get touchdowns.
And I'm probably gonna hand off one of these teams to somebody eventually because I don't really want to run two.
Keep going though.
But we'll keep it going. Yeah, Patriots defense,
Good.
and then I got Tyler Bass in there for my kickoff.
So
On my bench, I got Amari Cooper, Damian Harris, DeAndre Hopkins, who's suspended for 6 games or 8 games or however long.
Yeah.
Buccaneers defense, Justin Fields, J.D. McKissick, and Gerald Everett.
Your second team
is way better.
Definitely
Way better, huh?
Way better, bro.
miles better. That's
Bro.
what I said too, dude.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry.
I just need to get rid of Metcalf, dude.
Derrick Henry is in Jonathan
D. Henry,
Taylor.
Dak Prescott,
Well,
nice double.
Henry and Jonathan Taylor are kind of a wash. I would expect Taylor to do better, but Derrick Henry's Derrick Henry.
It's
Quarterbacks are really hard to predict if you don't have like Lamar or Pat Mahomes,
Especially in a
or Aaron
PPR
Rodgers.
league.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, your defense is a wash because like the Patriots are in a shit division other than
I have the
Bills.
Bucks too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, defenses you can interchange based on the matchup.
Exactly.
That's what I do.
Yeah, exactly.
Last year, I legit sought out whatever defense was playing either the Jets or Detroit, and that paid me dividends all year long.
Yeah, but you got Hopkins. When he comes back, he's going to be good.
He's going to be
when he
wide
comes
receiver
back.
one.
And I think Metcalf towards the end of the year was because they're going to be shitty. Seahawks are not going to make the playoffs. So
Who's their quarterback?
Drew Lock or Geno Smith?
Ay.
Yeah, exactly. So not looking good.
It might be Jimmy G at some point, but it's looking
if,
unlikely.
If they get Jimmy G, then
Game changer.
DK, that
I'm
would
gonna
help
try and
DK a
trade
lot.
DK with
Sit on him for a week or so and see what weaknesses your team exposes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd see how he
I
does
should do
week
that.
1 and then go from there.
All right. Moving on from fantasy. Let's get into a little bit of new. Oh,
Do
what's
we
up?
have any sleepers or anything? Anyone that you guys think
Oh.
would be really good? Or
I mean,
I'm
think
not going to say shit to you right now.
yeah, all right.
yeah,
Well,
it's
then-
probably better we should wait and then we'll talk about
Okay.
after you guys pick our team. After you guys pick your teams.
Okay, this is gonna come out on Saturday, so this will come out.
This comes
right-
out tomorrow.
Yeah, right before
tomorrow
our
morning.
draft, actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
so we won't do anything because our Sketty League members will watch this.
Yes, they
So,
will, dude. They're gonna pick up on you guys.
No sleepers.
I mean, they got what they got from what we were talking about, just
Right.
revealing my team.
Very
Like
true.
we're good.
Very true.
I am facing my dad the first week.
Oh fuck.
Oh, it's the
gonna
Rick Bowl.
Beat his ass.
Rick Bowl.
The Rick Bowl.
The real Rick G Bowl. All right,
Nice.
let's get on to these news. How about a 48-year-old Terrell Owens still having it, man? Ran a 40-yard dash in under 4.5 seconds.
That's crazy, bro.
That's faster than
I showed you the
I can
video.
run.
You've seen the video.
T.O.
Faster than me.
T.O. is one of the best wide receivers that we've seen.
When is he going to hit Hall of Fame? Do you think they're ever going to give it to him? Probably not.
I guess not.
When he's
but
eligible.
He should.
When he's eligible.
He's eligible already.
No.
He's been retired for 5 years.
Well, there's a lot of people who didn't get in right away that should have.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, he gets a lot of bad rep because, like, he's with the 49ers and, like, the Cowboys and the Eagles. Like, he's a showboat, and, like, a lot of people don't like old heads don't like T.O. really. Mm-hmm. But him and Randy Moss are, like,
They're both
top tier.
Yeah, like he's in the top 5 wide receiver careers we've had the privilege of seeing with our own eyes.
Yeah, I fuck with T.O. a lot. Like, him with the Eagles, him and Donovan McNabb, that was lit to watch.
That was lit to watch.
That was great to watch.
So T.O. still in our minds, still in our hearts. I don't know about Cade, or no. Let's stay with football. How about Tyreek Hill revealing that if he could fight anybody in the sports world, it'd be Jalen Ramsey.
So I believe this is because he recently was hanging out with Jake Paul.
Oh,
So
really?
I think they were because that's
like
a
it's
fact.
stealing. I swear, anybody hanging out with Jake Paul wants to fight
They're like,
now.
But-
I could be a boxer. Right?
So Tyreek is mad explosive and mad fast. Just as a person, like Tyreek's like 5'10" and can dunk a basketball. So like that's impressive. But
Very athletic.
But I don't know what of those could translate in a fight with him and Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
Jalen
Who wins the
Ramsey-
fight? Who wins the fight?
Jalen Ramsey's taking
He's
it.
right.
Right?
Yeah, Jalen
Way
Ramsey's
bigger.
beating his
He's
ass,
way
dude.
bigger.
Jalen Ramsey's like 6'1".
That's what I'm saying.
Like bigger
220.
in weight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no way.
Tyreek could have the explosiveness to
Okay.
do something, but in a traditional boxing, probably would get his
So
ass.
sorry, Tyreek, you getting your
Yeah.
ass kicked. And Holly picked up Tyreek this year. She has Tyreek on her fucking roster
Nice.
this year for
Nice.
fantasy.
He's gonna get all the receptions for that team.
No, and I have Jalen Waddle though, so I told her I was like, "You just wait. All these motherfuckers gonna be covering Tyreek Hill, and Jalen Waddle's gonna be like, bloop,
No, you know who's really gonna be
running in
open?
for a touchdown."
No, you know who's really gonna be open is Mike Gesicki.
He's gonna be open too.
That's
Gesicki.
Dave's sleeper pick.
That's not.
Oh,
That's not
you
my
watch
secret.
out, dude.
No, Mike Gesicki can come ring the fucking bell for the Chiefs because that one year that we got the 2 seed, Mike Gesicki gets a touchdown from fucking Fitzmagic himself. The Patriots lose, the Chiefs win. It was week 17, and because they lost and we won, we got the 2 seed and we won the Super Bowl that year because Mike Gesicki got a touchdown.
Were you losing your mind?
Well, it was like mid-game, so like they showed. What happened was this is the first time I've ever seen this because of the circumstance. In game, they announced it on the field. They showed the highlight of Mike Gesicki getting the touchdown at Arrowhead, and they're like, yeah, due to this, that the Chiefs win this game. We were already up like 10 points. The Chiefs win this game, and they claim the 2 seed. So like the whole crowd went nuts for a touchdown in a game in a different state.
Oh yeah.
It was it was crazy. So yeah, Mike Gesicki can come ring the bell for Kansas
No,
City.
he's pretty good. I think the Miami defense is wide open. We'll see if Tua's good.
see what happens.
Guess who's the backup in Miami?
Who?
Teddy Bridgewater.
I was about to say 2 gloves.
Yeah. So if Tua doesn't, if he shits the bed, Teddy Bridgewater is coming in and
I'm pretty hype on Waddle. I'm hype on. I mean, it's pretty hopeful.
it's
for this
wide
offense.
open. I mean,
It's wide
Tyreek
open.
Hill could be good. Waddle
Could be.
They're both extremely fast.
They are, dude. Are you
receiving
gonna
core.
fucking- yeah.
Fastest receiving core in the game. If he can hit him,
I disagree.
Well, who's the fastest wide receiver core?
When it was Tyreek and Mecole Hardman.
Well, it's not a thing anymore.
Yeah,
Last
when it
year.
was.
It's not a thing anymore.
Last year.
I'm not saying
not a thing
ever.
anymore.
I'm saying right now.
My bad. You're right. My bad. My dumbass has an assumption that you were saying.
Yo,
ever.
get off the Chiefs'
No.
dick, dude.
Yeah, for real.
Bruh.
Your time's
All
out.
right. Let's move on. The reason why I asked, did you lose your mind over it, is because Aaron Donald temporarily losing his mind
Saw
during
that.
a wild joint practice brawl with the Bengals.
Dude,
today or yesterday.
So
Excuse
yeah,
me.
they
ripping off a Cincinnati player's helmet and then appearing to attack the opponent with it.
Myles Garrett shit, you know.
That's the
Fucking Aaron Donald's going
I
crazy.
saw a meme and it just showed the
I would not want Aaron Donald coming at me.
It showed Mason Rudolph after he got like the season before the Myles Garrett incident when he got knocked out from that sideways tackle and he got like all comatose and they cut off the grill of his helmet and it just shows him looking up like all starstruck and it says like Mason Rudolph seeing Aaron Donald get into a fight with 2 helmets.
Oh shit. That's hilarious.
Dog, yeah.
Do you think they're gonna punish them because it wasn't on television?
I don't think so.
I think the team will probably fine him because
You just can't be having
you
that.
can't be having that. Like
bullshit.
you have to, there has to be a punishment established, and you're obviously not going to bench him
And it's
because
an
he's a great
well,
player.
yeah.
It's Aaron
So
Donald. This is
This
the
is-
best defensive player in years.
It's an exhibition game.
Ever.
you could argue he's
Ever.
the best defensive player to ever play the game. You could
Yeah.
make that
You
argument.
could
Can.
definitely make that argument. And
We'll see what happens this year too. He'll solidify himself within these next 2 years. Bet.
I can think of 2 people that I could name drop that would beat him in that argument, but those are the only 2 in the history of the NFL that I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue Lawrence Taylor, right?
That's number 1.
Yeah.
And then my number 2 is Ray Lewis.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's
Lawrence Taylor was doing cocaine, so I think that doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we kind of disqualifies him because he had performance enhancing drugs. So I think Aaron Donald's got the leg up on him.
I just out of all that, Aaron Donald coming at you is a scary
First
fucking
of all,
thought.
nightmares, PTSD. I would never want to play in the same field as him again because I'd be terrified of what that man is capable of.
Yeah.
Speaking of fear, we got Dennis Rodman won't be getting involved in the Brittany Griner case after all. The Hall of Famer was reportedly decided not to travel to Russia after U.S. government was like, probably shouldn't go.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, so they strongly advised him to not go because I probably wouldn't go either, dog. I mean,
He can do whatever he wants, though.
they're like, yeah, come say hi to Brittany. Come say hi. She misses you. Bring some
Right.
snacks.
Do you know?
And then as soon as you land, bruh.
Yeah,
as
seriously.
soon as you land, dude.
It's Dennis Rodman, though. Have you know his
Gives a-
history? You know,
Yeah, it's Dennis
you know,
Rodman.
But do you know, like,
Yes, but he chilled with Little Rocket Man. Who cares, bro? This is Russia.
he killed or he hung out with Kim Jong Un in North Korea.
Yeah, Little Rocket Man. I know.
I never
Yep,
knew his
big deal.
name is Little Rocket Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a Trump thing.
Oh,
But yeah, I mean, like
Nah.
the government's like, if you go over there, we're not getting you back. So you better find yourself back. Like we're not trading for you, dog.
And then Rodman was like, "Good luck."
He's like, all right, I'm not gonna go then.
Yeah, so I feel bad for Brittany again. She was probably like, "Oh," she's like, "Oh, we had D-Rod out here." Well, my thing is like, bro, what makes you think you're gonna do anything, Dennis Rodman? This is Russia.
He went to
dude.
North Korea, came back, and he's like, dude, I could do anything.
Yeah. Bro, no one cares that you went to North Korea, bro.
He's like, I fucked Carmen Electra. Like, I'm doing a lot of shit that no one's done. No, a lot of people fuck
Dennis
Carmen.
Rodman. I laughed my ass off when I read that shit.
No, yeah, he's wild. I believe he said that shit though.
Another thing to laugh at: Kevin Durant will not be traded to the Brooklyn Nets. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
So what's with that? Do you guys know what? Let me open this up.
He just with the Kyrie thing. Kyrie wanted to leave, so KD was like, "I'm a leave. Fuck this." And then he met with the organization, and they
Changed his mind.
They basically talked. They're like, we'll support you. Like, we got you. And so he's like, fine, I'll stay, I guess. But next year, probably gonna be the same shit.
Move
So,
forward with our partnership.
Yeah. I mean, I think they'll be fine this year, but next year, I bet it starts all over again.
And he's in the middle of this $194 million extension.
Yeah, I think he's got 3 years left or 2 years left. 2 years left. Yeah, so, I mean, 2 years ain't really shit, but...
And it's unclear what this means for Kyrie, who has also requested a trade.
Kyrie ain't going nowhere.
You don't think so?
They tried.
I mean, he might get traded during the season, but I
Not right now?
don't see it happening. No.
What do you see this for the Brooklyn Nets then? Like, is this bad? Is this good? How do you feel?
It's not good. I mean, because there's turmoil, but there's still. I mean, anytime you have KD and Kyrie on a team, then you're probably going to make the playoffs.
I was gonna say you should make the playoffs.
But other than that, their team is pretty dog shit. Like, we signed debatably their third best player in Bruce Brown. So he's on the Nuggets now. And so yeah, they're not very good. Other than KD and Kyrie, which are really good.
Let's see. In sport adjacent news, we had Vanessa Bryant winning her lawsuit against LA County after the jury decided that the deputies caused the Bryant family emotional distress when they took and shared gruesome photos of the crash site and stuff.
Yeah.
That's just a sad story all in itself.
Didn't they
I don't
only
really
get,
know what else
like
to say.
6 million?
16.
16
yeah. million?
I feel like it's not even enough.
I don't think that's enough either, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's really
Throw a
that's pretty
zero at
fucked
the end of
up.
that shit.
160 is a little crazy to me,
Is
but
that?
it's a little wild,
This guy
but-
turned into the fucking chief real quick. Yeah, I said 160 mil. And he turned into the goddamn
I'm
sheriff
like,
chief.
easy.
Yeah.
Like, let's hold it down.
This guy
bro.
grew a mustache and fucking.
Right? No, but yeah, definitely not enough.
No, I don't think that's enough.
Because there was a lot of leaked shit. I guess there was sketches released of of Kobe Bryant's face after he died. Yeah, it was like supposedly scraped off and like, yeah, sketches of it.
So like a lot of the documents that were supposed to be confidential, that if you work in that field, you never legally are allowed to share in any way. Some of the on-site personnel, like cops or I don't know if they were paramedics or whatever, but not only did they, I don't know if they kept physical copies of it or if they just took photographs of it, but that I believe it was they took photographs of the information and then it leaked.
They were sharing it in chats, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
Yikes.
very it's very unethical.
Why would you even want pictures of Kobe all mangled, bro?
I didn't even
That's
Sell
fucked
them.
up.
I mean, they probably
To
sold
sell
them to
them?
TMZ for a lot of money.
I intentionally
Not
was
that
like
much.
Well, they weren't released like that. I don't think they were released publicly, were they?
eventually they
I
leaked,
think
and then once it
so.
leaked, it was public.
Yeah.
Really?
You can Google like there like the it has like the picture of a silhouette of a person, and then when you document like their injuries, you know what I'm saying, for like any type of crash or something like that, it had a very vivid description of like all of the things that had happened to him. And it
What?
was, yeah, like you.
Oh, shit. I
don't
didn't know
wanna-
that was public.
I've read it, but
Pretty gruesome.
I refuse to actually click on the picture because it'll have like the silhouette with like, dude, it's just bad. So
Damn, that's crazy. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. That's crazy.
The condition of
I'm
his
kind
body-
of curious now.
You can
Is that
read,
bad?
That's why there's
Yeah,
leaks.
let's definitely not talk about it on here. All right, yeah, I just thought that was an interesting, like, kind of news
Oh yeah, for sure.
worthy article. Wanted to
Absolutely.
bring that up. That shit's crazy. I did not know that though. That's intense. All right. I mean, that's pretty much all
Contender
the news. Let's just talk about this contender series. Talk about these upcoming fights. And get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
The upcoming contender series was pretty good. 5 contracts.
Every
I'm gonna go over
winner.
it. I'm gonna open it up. Open it up.
One of the I'm bad with names, but one of the contracts that was issued, which was very interesting, is this homie was undefeated. He went in and won in the very first round, got his contract, and he's now officially the youngest fighter on the UFC roster. He's
Officially.
21 years old.
So we had, let's go over these fights real quick. So we had Denise Gomez versus Aran Amanda. And we had a UD. It was a really good fight, really back and forth fight. Denise ended up defeating Rayan and getting that contract in. After that, we had Cameron Stamen fighting Joshua Wong Kim. And he got the knockout by left hook. I believe that was one you were talking about. That was in the 3rd round. That was a really good fight.
Yep.
Stamen had his freaking eye closed, dude. Eye closed completely. But he ended up getting that knockout win in the 3rd round, 2 minutes and 52 seconds. Right after that, we had Jesus Aguilar fighting Erison Ferreira by submission. He guillotined him 1 minute and 56 seconds of the 3rd round. Got that win. Right after that, we had Darius Flowers defeating Aran Gogoladze. TKO. Actually, injury. He like fucking pile drived him, dude. He
tombstoned him.
he tombstoned him.
So, like,
he Undertaker tombstoned him and popped his shoulder out.
It's pretty gangster.
was-
That's legal? To
I
do that?
mean, slams are legal.
Yeah, it is.
You just can't like fucking
You can't slam them on their
above.
spine.
Yeah. You can't slam on spine, and you can't like above head them.
like you can't power bomb them. What he did is they were in like a north-south type scenario where they were opposite.
Like 69.
You know what a tomb? Yeah,
Basically,
yeah,
so-
kind of
but
69.
he had him like he had his arms wrapped around him. So basically, he picked him up and then just kind of landed. And when he landed, like his head
and
back
shoulders.
of his head, which you can totally do. You hear the slam, and then you kind of don't understand as a fan because he didn't look like he was dazed. But you hear he says something verbally.
Well,
and then
he like grabbed and then like looked weird, and then he like said something to his
Yeah.
coaches, and then he just fucking tapped.
yeah. As soon as that,
And then
happened,
as soon as dude
when they
got
get
off,
up,
he was like,
he gets
"Ah!"
up and you can
Like,
just see his
yeah,
shit.
his shit was just he mangled his shoulder up.
Slams are legal.
And it's a TKO.
On your head,
He
though?
TK
I feel like slams on your head should not be.
That's how
legal.
Rose lost her belt. Remember that?
Yeah, well, that's pretty fucked up. I think that shouldn't be legal. Like, I don't know.
I see why
need
you
to
shouldn't. Yeah, why you
We need to
think it
show
shouldn't.
this man Kevin Randleman slam against fucking Fedor.
We need to show
Pride.
him Rampage. Rampage
That
slam.
was well, yeah. Both of these are all-time slam knockouts where the slam won the fight, where someone got slammed.
Even Jordan Levitt.
Well,
Levitt got a really good slam KO too.
Fedor didn't get knocked, but he basically had a 200+ pound man just belly to belly suplex him onto like right here, like side of his neck.
I mean, if
It
it's like
fucks you up,
on
yeah.
top of your head, I think that's different. Like, I don't think that should be allowed, but any other slams
you can
I'm cool with.
DC picked up Dan Henderson, like flipped him and then threw him head first into the canvas. Like
Crazy.
literally just threw him.
Yeah.
It's like
Shout out DC.
How dare you? That's a legend, you son of a
Yeah,
bitch.
yeah, how dare you.
You're a Hall of Famer too, bro.
You didn't have to chuck
you
Endo.
didn't have to yeet my man's like
Yeah,
that.
he did chuck him. I
He
forgot
literally
about
just
that.
went,
Okay.
It's so fucked up.
threw him like
All right.
Sorry.
Back to this last fight. We had Mick Parkin defeating Eduardo Neves by submission, rear naked choke.
Oh, yeah.
First round, 1 minute 57 seconds, and Mick Parkins was beating his ass the whole time. That being said, we had 5 winners. 5 contracts went out to all of those winners. Dana White was happy. He was a happy camper. This is the second time this has happened this season. This is dope. Or no, I think this is the only time this has happened this season.
Where all of them got it.
Where all of them got it. The last one that was close,
one
one
got it.
didn't get it. Yeah,
That
one
girl who
didn't
got
get
the
it.
UD didn't get it.
Yep. Oh man, but it was a good Dana White Contender Series. I didn't make any bets on this week. I wasn't like that paying attention to it. I didn't really know these guys that much. I didn't get much from their interviews, so I couldn't bet on that much. And I had already lost the weekend before, so I was like, man, fuck this. All right, man. So we went over Dana White Contender Series. We went over the pay-per-view. We went over all of that. There's no real bets that I'm going to be making, other than I'll probably bet on Demetrius Mighty Mouse. Let's see what the line is on him. Let's talk about one a little bit.
I have
The only one pull up the lineup. The only one I know that's fighting is Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson is fighting for the rematch on the title against not Moicano.
So one thing that's really cool about
Eight-
ONE FC, for those who don't know, this is going to be their Amazon Prime debut. They signed a huge deal, so this is going to be one on Amazon, or it's like ONE FC, like one or ONE. This is gonna sound I'm saying one multiple times,
guy
but
sucks.
ONE FC one on Amazon because it's the first card on Amazon.
Yeah.
But one thing that's really cool about them is they're not a traditional MMA organization. They're based out of Singapore, and not only do they host MMA events and fights, they have multiple different types of things. Like they have kickboxing bouts, they have Muay Thai bouts, they have submission grappling bouts. And on this card, I don't recognize really any of them because they're going to be a lot of fighters.
Other than the main, because the main is Adriano Moraes versus
Demetrius
Mighty Mouse.
So
So
this
Mighty
is-
Mouse is the underdog
So this is a rematch
because he lost last time.
a couple of considerable differences from ONE FC to other organizations. So like in ONE FC, not only do they have hydration tests where they test your weight and how hydrated you are simultaneously, they test like the gravity of your urine or something like that. They explained. Rich Franklin explained it recently on Food Truck Diaries with Brandon Schaub. But basically, if you're gonna be like, they're fighting at flyweight, which is traditionally 125 pounds, but in ONE FC it's 135 pounds. What it is they bumped every weight class up at least 10 pounds, added the caveat of hydration, and if you come back dehydrated but you made weight, you can't fight because that you're going to compromise yourself. So that's something to take consideration, and as well as they can knee downed opponents because this main event ended.
That's how he got knocked out last
Exactly.
time.
This main event, I remember because I'm a UFC stan, so I'm sitting here watching this, my first ONE FC event, and this was on TNT like about 2 years ago.
Dude took him down and went.
And
Bing!
yeah, homie, he drops Mighty Mouse, and then
With a
Mighty Mouse
punch.
kind of like leans because he's on his knee, and then he gets kneed in the face. And I'm just sitting there like, what was that for? That's illegal. And then Marias is flexing, and then it's like, good night, Irene. I'm like, oh,
This is legal.
that's fair game.
Yeah, so you can knee and kick in the head.
It's prize
on the
rules,
ground,
basically.
Yeah,
But
you can soccer kick.
I think that
That's okay.
One FC.
No,
He's like slams. No soccer kicks. Lit.
yeah, exactly.
One FC, like UFC owns the US and like it's the most popular MMA organization. Obviously,
One
but
owns the rest of the world.
I was gonna say, if you go outside of the United States, One FC is UFC. Like they're huge. They're promotional.
Huge everywhere.
Their production value is way better. And I'm not trying to talk shit about UFC, but
I would chill on that.
I think it's better. It's like when you watch the fights,
I would chill on that.
bro. When you watch the fights,
I think
The way that
UFC
they-
streams better.
Well, I'm not-
It runs better. Like the way it flows is better.
I'm
like
talking about
one is like
I'm not talking about necessarily like the streaming experience. I'm talking about like if you're sitting in the like the stands of a One FC.
you've never
event.
sat in one.
I've sat in LFA stands. It's the same thing.
So you've never sat in UFC stands and you've never sat in one stands. You can't
won't-
compare the
yes,
two
but you won't let me make my point.
because you've never been to one.
Okay, well, when I watch the damn streams, you can observe that at One FC, their entrances for the fighters are more lit.
They are more lit.
The fans, the fan interaction is way more like they're quiet as shit because it's like traditional. Like they value.
I kinda don't
martial-
like that.
I like it because you hear loud ass impacts, and then when they go nuts. Like
I want to go nuts the whole time.
I like the traditional.
I don't like
American-
when they boo and shit. I don't like when
But, like, we-
American crowds boo for stupid shit.
We all agreed when it was during
that,
we
but-
agreed during COVID when like there was no fans, which we know now is not as fun. But when there was no fans and we can hear every punch, as an MMA purist, I was like, this is sick. So as an MMA purist, One FC kind of gives me that.
That's you.
But I think One FC's product is super duper polished.
And that shit's tonight, and we're gonna miss it.
I mean, I'll have it on my phone, but I really only care about the main event.
I just want to watch Mighty Mouse
So-
get it. I might put a few sprinkles on Mighty Mouse. He's a plus 115 underdog right now.
So
It's kind of a pick 'em. But honestly, I don't know.
there's some interesting fights.
I'm
on
only
the
putting
card.
sprinkles on him.
So, what do you guys think is the biggest competition of UFC as far as in the MMA?
do you mean?
Is it
Oh, who's number two?
One.
Who's
I
number
would say
two?
one.
It is.
I would say
it's
one.
a competition. Well,
It's the rest of the world. They're taking over the rest of the world now. They're so
globally,
big.
it's One FC, but if domestically, it's Bellator. It's not even close.
so domestically?
Yeah, domestically,
the world.
Bellator.
More
I would
people
agree.
domestically know Bellator because
I think PFL's kind of on the come up too.
PFL's
though.
on the come up because they got that ESPN Plus deal. But
Yeah.
the thing about Bellator is they're the second longest standing organization, and they also like One FC has constantly been available only in Singapore. It's just now getting into the Americas. They've never hosted an American card. This card that we're getting at times friendly to America is still taking place in Singapore. They're going to be fighting at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
this is the first card that didn't take place at 5 a.m. our time, which me personally, I'm never awake for those. I wake up, see the highlights, ball out. You know
Never
what I'm
forget,
saying?
there's no other organization out there other than the UFC that sells pay-per-view MMA fights.
Bellator's tried
Successfully.
Yeah,
They've
done it like-
tried.
they've
It
done
didn't
like-
work very well.
They've done it twice, and their numbers are trash. They realize their
Yeah,
platform.
they
is
lost
not.
money. They lost money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
but I
UFC
think
is just miles ahead.
UFC is still number one.
no matter what.
They're
I
not going to
think-
get dethroned.
I think all these organizations coming up is showing that UFC has flaws. Because if there wasn't
Oh,
any flaws
yeah.
with
Fuck
UFC,
yeah, they
then
have
there wouldn't be
flaws.
any room
They
for
have mad
other
flaws.
organization.
And
And we see this in golf. Did you guys hear about the LIV and
Yes.
what the PGA is doing? They're doing like a 3-on-3 new
and the
thing.
LIV wants to pay them like 8 times more. And
LIV
shit.
paid them crazy, but they're making a new Tiger Wood and Rory McIlroy league. Did you hear about this?
yeah, it's
PGA
indoor.
is?
No,
yeah,
it's indoor. Arena.
3v3. Yes, but we wouldn't get that if it wasn't for LIV
Coming out and-
exactly,
Ah,
and
I see.
so it brings out the best. But Dana White is, from what I've seen, is not adapting. He's like, "Fuck you, I'm not changing shit."
So the thing with it, he's been growing, but not adapting. So like that's the thing. Like he's been putting up UFC performance institutes everywhere. Like that shit's expensive to do. Like any UFC fighter can train it there for free. Like
Okay.
you can do all that. And he said one of his goals is to pop one up in Africa, UK. He
Yeah,
wants
okay.
UFC
That's cool.
performance institutes everywhere. So what I see is he's kind of not giving the dogs a bone yet. He's kind of building the doghouse first.
But he
Okay.
can't. Like I think the UFC's business model definitely needs to be fixed.
Fuck yeah, I agree.
But when you also if you think about if you look at it,
I mean, not the business model, but the way they pay their fighters and all that stuff.
Think
Because
about
their business model, like they would not be here if it weren't for that business
They
model.
make a lot of money.
But think about the macro level. Their fight. If I'm not mistaken, UFC has over 500 fighters on their roster.
Yeah.
It is really hard to leverage that. But I guess that being said,
Yeah, you know what their insurance bill would be? Oh,
this reminds me. Thank you for bringing up this like the pros and cons of competition, because competition gives us more product, which drives for better product because you got to stand above the rest. But that reminds me of something we didn't even talk about last episode that's super relevant to this. Former UFC fighter, now PFL fighter Shane Burgos, he fought like not even 1 month ago at UFC Long Island.
Yeah, he signed with them, yeah.
And then he finished his fight contract. And then there's technically like a restricted free agency opportunity, and then the unrestricted. I don't know exactly what stage he was in any of that. He basically went to PFL and was just like, "Hey, what is your offer?" They offered him the bag. He's probably going to be making.
UFC's sad about it too. UFC's like, "Fuck."
Well,
we missed our
Dana
opportunity.
publicly admitted as soon as he was interviewed, as soon as that took place, he's like, "Yeah, we dropped the ball on that." Now Dana knows he's not going to turn around and give Shane Burgos the money that PFL is going to give him. That's just not in the books for them. PFL's fight, they don't have as many fighters, so it's easier for them to pay their fighters than it is for the UFC. The UFC, like, they could afford it. That's not even in fucking question. But I think as fans, we're getting these super fights, we're getting these cross promotional fights, and we're kind of getting to see, like in that LIV tournament scenario, like the grass could be greener elsewhere for the athlete's sake, and who's to say the product doesn't follow?
Yeah.
That's really what it comes down to.
Let's not forget. Let's touch on Usyk and Joshua too.
Oh my God! How could we miss that?
Let's kind of wrap it up here. But I do want to Usyk solidifying himself, potentially putting himself into the perfect place for a Tyson Fury Alexander Usyk fight.
We need that fight.
We need that fight to happen.
That'll be the biggest heavyweight
Tyson's
fight
calling
of
for
all
it.
time for money. That'll be the biggest.
I think Tyson Fury wins.
Oh, dude. Did you see Tyson
Better
Fury?
boxer, bigger man.
As soon as the fight was over, when Tyson Fury, his reaction, he was just like, "This is complete shite. I could beat both of you on the same night." Like,
Yeah,
and to be 100% honest, I feel like Tyson Fury could have walked out of the ring after he fought Deontay Wilder and could have walked into the ring against a fresh Usyk and beat the shit out of him.
I wouldn't have doubted it.
Tyson Fury is...
He's just good. Usyk's good too, though. We can't knock Usyk.
Usyk is good, but Usyk isn't the most true heavyweight. He's a cruiserweight, who bumped up and like...
Walks in at 220.
This was a big moment as far as European boxing because the Ukrainian fighter won. There was a moment of unity after they both held the Ukraine flag, which I thought was
cool.
So cool.
Joshua was going off on the mic.
Joshua, yeah, he cut a promo after a loss.
He cut a full promo.
Who
after
the
a
fuck
loss.
saw that? And like the shitty thing about Joshua is like, where does he go from here? 2 straight losses.
I think he's done.
He needs. I mean, if you ask me, give us the fight we always wanted. Go box Wilder, and then we can just
go box Wilder, get the bag, and then go
just
live
retire.
your life.
Just go retire. Like we don't. You have nothing.
He ain't
to
gonna
prove.
get the titles, bro.
No,
I thought he retired. Didn't Wilder retire?
Not Wilder.
Wilder
has a fight.
Well, I was about to say. Last I checked, he has a bout scheduled.
It's coming up pretty quick. I think.
Maybe he said this will be his last one, or so. I thought I saw something that
I think
he was
he's
retiring.
toward his
Regardless, though, that was.
I don't know. You never know with these fighters, man. You never know with these fighters.
That fight though,
They say they're retiring, and then they're not, and then they are.
That's just promoter bait.
Yeah.
But I felt like to encapsulate that fight, it was like, as weird as this sounds, if it didn't feel like I was watching 2 heavyweights fight, but I definitely was watching 2 like amazing boxers. You know what I'm saying? Because they weren't really devastating one another. They were just crisp. It was such a tactical battle, and I saw Usyk winning that, and then he did. I mean, more power to him.
It was a hefty fight weekend this last weekend, and now we have
That's sports weekend, bruh.
Honestly, yeah, sports weekend. And then this weekend is kind of like for fighting. Like we have one.
We got Mighty Mouse.
We have Mighty Mouse. At least that's there. But I feel like that's where we should end it.
There's not really any parlays to make.
There's no parlays to make. I'm probably going to make bets on the side and stuff, but nothing to make here. Nothing to fuss about here. I didn't even ask how your guys' weeks were. Anything notable?
It's all good.
Anything notable?
No.
I didn't think so. You didn't win another competition?
Not that I could think of.
No, I didn't.
Gearing up for another golf competition to win?
Yeah, Labor Day weekend.
Oof.
So
you gonna wear all
I
white
think next weekend?
You better get sunburned.
It's 3-day tournament.
Man, your feet still cut off.
Oh yeah, no, it's gonna stay there for a little bit.
I dig it. All right, man. Well, this has been Sport Champs Street Champs exclusive sports podcast. We appreciate you guys for listening. If you guys listen through this whole thing, we appreciate you dearly. Do not forget to hit the links below. My name is Rick G. I make music. I fuck with sports too. Follow me on all socials if you guys want to talk about sports. Go check out all the new music in the link tree below. Do not forget to follow my man Dave. Shout out yourself, Dave.
Yup. Catch me at DavidMeetsWorld _ on IG. And then don't forget to get tickets for our Halloween show whenever those go live. Because we're all trying to be there. That's going to be a good one.
We're going to have tickets really soon. So we're doing a live podcast, a live Street Champs podcast. We're also doing a concert the same night, same building. We're doing Wake Up Pueblo Theater here in Pueblo, Colorado. Our man Deryk's putting this shit together. We're going to have tickets soon, real fucking soon. When you guys buy a ticket, you guys are going to get to drink. Okay?
That's a plan.
A ticket. You're buying a ticket for a show, but then you get to drink with it too. Do not forget, okay? Just keep in mind for all the announcements, October 29th, Pueblo, Colorado, we have a Street Champs live podcast and concert.
Downtown Pueblo.
Downtown. Hell yeah. All right. But hit us up. My name's Rick G. We got Winston behind the keys. And this guy over here, Mr. Dave with his Play-Doh snakes.
Forget my name?
Well, I knew you were going to do some type of action.
Right here.
No, I knew he was going to do some type of action, bro. Because as soon as I pointed over here, you went. All right. Y'all have a good one.
Yeah.
Peace.